welcome to another Huddle Breakdown Extra Time. I'm your host Martin Murphy and joined as ever by James and by Alan. How are you guys?
Good. A day delayed. Apologies to all the subscribers. We had good reasons that we'll get into. But
we certainly did, Alan, didn't we?
Yeah, I'm really regretting it now, though. Yeah, and it's even more frustrating. It's a beautiful day here, and I've not been outside once yet for various dull reasons, including probably not getting up very early for predictable reasons. But yes, it's been a busy week, but lots of celebrating.
Yeah, it's a lovely day here. I'm spending warm summer days indoors, as Morrissey once put it. But I'm talking to you guys, so that's okay. I don't mind so much. So a lot happened in the world generally. Alan's birthday, just in case anybody was was wondering what we were alluding to. So happy birthday, Alan! First of all,
Thanks for all the cards,
we'll do a
guys.
deep
Thank you.
dive into that.
Thanks for all the bottles of whiskey. Appreciate it.
That which does not kill you makes you stronger. And James, I've been desperate to come
Like
to you with this. You know, white smoke. We've got an American as Pope, but not only that, he's a Peruvian citizen, Chicago boy. You've obviously got a bit of an inside track on all this, James. Is he a Celtic man?
Not to my knowledge.
Not yet.
Not yet. You know, there's been some jokes, some good memes going around about the Bears. Anyone that has Saturday Night Live history going back to the 80s and early 90s with Chris Farley would know that reference. Different skits. But no, it's interesting. I think he grew up a Chicago Cubs fan from what I read and heard. The other factoid, so it's very weird how his biography triangulates with my family, because obviously the Peruvian and American influence, but he also studied his undergrad at Villanova, which is in Philadelphia. He had a mathematics degree, which is undergrad. And apparently, a nugget, in case people haven't read into this or heard much about it, he was also a greyhound dog better. So he used to use that math degree to be a spreadsheet shagger in order to make money on betting on the dogs before he went into, obviously a higher calling, one would think, than us degenerates. But he's human. He's human. So cool triangulation: Pennsylvania, United States, Peru, white smoke, all glorious.
Is greyhound racing still a thing in the US? It's actually, it looks like it's a sport that's going to die here. After the Second World War, millions of people used to go to greyhound racing. I think it was one of these, any sport. I mean, football saw massive attendance. Greyhound racing was huge. And we've got a great greyhound racing track here in Sheffield, and it's really popular, or was a really popular night out. But I believe in Wales and possibly in Scotland imminently they're going to ban it because of welfare concerns about
dogs,
how the animals are treated. I don't know if that's the same in the US or not.
Yeah, it's kind of
Probably
been
not under Trump. He'll be racing. He'll be racing. Immigrant children, won't he? For money, I imagine that'll be coming. That might replace it.
He'll build a meme coin off of racing children. But no, my understanding is, I don't know that much about dog racing. My understanding is the kind of last bastion of some popularity is Florida, which is also where a lot of older people go to live. I won't be so horrible as to say the.
I did wonder where you were going.
They also go there to do. They also go there to do that.
They go there not to pay taxes. Yeah, basically.
Well, that too. So I think it is a generational kind of transition thing. I don't think horse racing is the same way. By the way, like when I was 17, in turning 18, we have a horse race track not too far from where I live, and we used to go there because as an 18-year-old in the United States, that's like the first thing you can do where you can be a degenerate legally. You could smoke cigarettes and you could go bet on the horses. Everything else was still, kind of illegal. So, horse racing is kind of dying too. And I think the greyhound issues are coming up too, as far as the treatment of the dogs. I've definitely read that. So, but yeah, in fairness to the new Pope, Leo, at his time when he was doing this, we're talking about probably given his age, probably the 70s, I'm guessing. So it was probably a little bit more prevalent at that time.
Yeah, his name is Leo and he dances on the sand. Um, Goods as well.
Crikey,
It's getting linked
Duran
with Leo
Duran
the 13th.
and the
Oh,
Smiths.
there's a lot of
This is a
musical
great
stuff coming
start.
up, Alan.
I'm warming up to this episode. This is great.
And of course, it named after Leo the 13th, so an element of social justice there as well. So good luck to him and his pontificate. Yeah, I enjoyed the show earlier in the week. Any of the subscribers who didn't join, I'm sure will go back to have a look at that. It was the follow up to the match at the Theatre of Hate, and enjoyed the chat on that as well, and enjoyed what you had mentioned earlier as well, Alan. When just prior to the show we were talking, and what was it you said? You said it was taking Tina back by playing Simply the Best. So I was wondering if we were going to play it, against, or certainly against St Mirren before we get the trophy. That would be quite nice. Quite nice, just to get a bit of Schadenfreude. And I was thinking T-shirts, something like Tina for Tim's or something like that might be quite nice. That could be a good seller. Also, I don't know if you noticed this as well, James. There was a tremendous any musical backdrop to the game. There was a huge tifo of Lionel Richie pointing a gun at the Celtic fans, which I found quite bizarre. And I wondered if it was this kind of a nod to hello, hello, is it me you're looking for? But apparently somebody said it was Souness. I thought it was more like Lionel, so that kind of cleared it up a little bit, I guess. Yeah, as I say, I enjoyed the chat you had about the game, and anybody that didn't see that, please go back and have a look at it. So today we're going to have a look at the match coming up against Hibernian, of course, on Saturday, a Saturday 3 p.m. kickoff. So a sunny day like this, if you're in the North Stand, lower folks, get your shades on. You'll certainly need them. Sun will be right in your eyes. Very much looking forward to the game, but it's going to be kind of a strange game as well. It looks, Hibs have got more to play for than we have. It'll be interesting to see the way that we approach it in terms of the squad and squad rotation, etc. So I suppose if I come to you first, Alan, with this game, how do you think, first of all, Brendan will approach it in terms of the team that he's got out? And I think you had heard a little bit of breaking news about players returning from injury as well. And also, what would you like to see? Would it be the same as what you think the manager will do, or would you like to maybe look at the rotation side of things a little bit more?
Yeah, I mean, so that it looks like Kasper Schmeichel is in the squad, and based on comments I read on the Celtic Way, Rodgers was emphasising that he's the number one. He wasn't giving out any information as to which goalkeeper will start. We talked about this on Wednesday, this week's pod. Well, my view is that Sinisalo's done absolutely nothing to warrant losing his place, and that should be the way it is. Schmeichel's record this season is very good. And as I say, his Champions League record is fantastic. He's top 10 percentile for some of the key metrics, like I talked about positioning error, which is the average position of a goalkeeper relative to the shot. The StatsBomb calculate, it's really quite cool. And then they calculate the difference in meters from where you are relative to the perfect position. His positioning error score is one of the lowest in the Champions League. His saves above average, meaning what saves was he expected to make versus the ones he did make. Again, 95th percentile, etc. And goals saved above average as well. Saving goals as expected, essentially.
We hope you enjoyed this free preview from all of us here at the Huddle Breakdown. We know you have options and we really appreciate you tuning in. To hear the rest of this episode and for much more Huddle Breakdown content, head on over to www.huddlebreakdown.com. We hope you consider subscribing. Thank you.